Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
We're going to start tonight with a question. How careful are you when you go to the ATM? Well, tonight, local law enforcement says you should be extra careful.
A massive mess in the Texas Panhandle after a deadly tornado left behind a path of destruction. Now people in South Texas answering the call for help. But first, we have been feeling it all week, and it is not going anywhere.
Obviously, we're talking about the extreme South Texas heat. Our meteorologist Adam Caskey has the latest.
Oh, hot and extra sticky out there today. It was actually a record-setting day here in San Antonio, but not the kind of record we necessarily want to set. Today, we had our all-time record heat index value ever measured in San Antonio of 115 degrees. We hit that at 3:30 p.m. That was our feels like temperature earlier today. These records go back for the heat index back to 1946. Other peak heat indices: 120 Cotulla and Eagle Pass, Del Rio 119. New Braunfels had a peak heat index of 120 earlier today, and Hondo 121. Right now, not as bad, but for this time of day, still elevated and high. Right now in town, feels like 103, and Uvalde feels like 100. Now, staying alert and keeping cool will be vital with the heat, of course. One of the best places to do that, the pool or splash pad. Nearly 24 city pools open tomorrow. The night team's Avery Everett joins us now, live outside the Concepcion pool. Avery, this heat can be dangerous, even if you plan to spend the day in the pool, right?
The heat can affect everyone. Even if you're outside standing next to a pool like I am, officials are urging families to stay safe. And they say the easiest way to do that is staying aware of the warning signs. They say if you're feeling nauseous, dizzy, or weak, that you could be experiencing heat exhaustion. Officials say if this is the case, you need to act fast and move to a cooler area. But sometimes some members of your family can't always vocalize what they're feeling. And the fire chief in Elotes says being observant is key.
More elderly people, as well as young children, they respond differently to heat and respond differently to dehydration. And their systems, their body systems don't respond as rapidly.
That fire chief says you can take as easy of measures as bringing a water bottle or building in time under the trees when you're out at the pool. We have a list of other resources on our website, KSAT.com. Reporting live, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Avery. Other types of severe weather hitting different parts of the state as well. This is a look at the aftermath in Perryton, Texas. It's up in the Panhandle. An EF2 tornado tore through this area last night. Drone video shows houses ripped apart, debris scattered everywhere.
3 people were also killed. It was 2 women in their 60s and an 11-year-old boy. Governor Greg Abbott issued a disaster declaration for the counties that were hit hard by severe storms.
And as we often do, South Texas is answering the call for help in Perryton. Blood donated here, now headed to the Panhandle to help those tornado survivors. The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center sending 6 units of blood as part of the Blood Emergency Readiness Corps.
There are actually 10 participating blood centers that were on call, so we sent a total of 66 units. As they continue to work through the disaster, we are on standby to send more units if needed.
And that's why the Blood and Tissue Center needs your help this weekend. You can donate tomorrow at the HEB at Culebra in 1604 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you donate, you can also get gift cards for Rudy's Barbecue and Dave & Buster's. The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center's donor rooms, they will also be open this weekend. And people who donate Sunday or Monday can get a $20 gift card.
We have a full list of the donor room locations, the hours, as well as the information on how to make your blood donation appointment right now on KSAT.com.
In other news now, a San Antonio man facing life in prison after a jury convicted him of his ex-girlfriend's murder. It took about 3 hours today for the jury to find 26-year-old Brian Ontiveros guilty of killing Marissa Jernigan. That happened in 2019 before he fled to Mexico. Jernigan was Ontiveros' ex-girlfriend and also the mother of his son. The U.S. Marshal's office said that he shot her multiple times after he broke into her apartment. Ontiveros had been on the run for about 3 years before U.S. Marshals finally caught up with him and arrested him last March.
Seguin police are searching for answers tonight after a man was shot and killed. Officers found 49-year-old Juan Pablo Juarez with a gunshot wound off of North Austin Street. Again, this is in Seguin. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Happened just afternoon. While police do not have any suspects right now, they believe the shooter and the victim got into an argument before the fatal shots were fired.
It wasn't as though somebody was just driving by and shot at somebody random. Like I said, it's still under investigation, so we're still piecing together what exactly happened, but I would say the most reassuring thing is why that happened at that specific location.
If you know anything that can help, you're asked to call the Seguin Police Department. They are asking anyone with any information to give them a call. Their Criminal Investigations Division at Seguin Police at 830-379-2123.
Lots of questions tonight in Seguin, in Schertz, after a woman's body was found there this morning. Schertz police say that a driver saw a body around 8:30 along the shoulder of I-35 near Hubertus Road, and the woman was in her 30s. She was also Hispanic. Now, they don't know how the woman died, but they are calling her death suspicious. If you know anything about this, call the Schertz Police Department at 210-619-1200.
Want to solve a case? Well, have you seen these people? Police believe they were involved in a recent assault. It happened on June 8th in the St. Paul Square area downtown. Officers say the victim and his friends walking to their cars when they were attacked by 3 men. After that, the men took off in a black Mustang. Once captured, police say they face aggravated assault charges. If you know who these men are or where they might be tonight, you're asked to call police at 210-207-7635. San Antonio police telling everyone to be aware of a scam alert that's going around. Police say scammers are calling people from a number beginning with 210-207 and then telling them they are under investigation. Then they say the only way to resolve it is to pay up. The police department says that is not the case, and the department will never demand money over the phone. If you think you've fallen victim to this scam, call SAPD's non-emergency number. That number is 210-207-7273.
And police also want you to know this. They say that you should watch your back at the ATM. That is the message from all law enforcement, because criminals may be watching you from a distance and then follow you to rob you.
Yeah, the Night Team's Patty Santos tells us it's happening in cities like Houston, Dallas, and this weekend, it happened right here in San Antonio.
San Antonio police and area law enforcement are closely watching the trend known in other Texas cities as jugging.
Jugging itself is not an offense in the penal code, so we don't use that term. But jugging basically falls under robbery.
Here, jugging.
The Balcones Heights police chief says it's when thieves target specific victims.
On those particular incidents that we've seen, if they're focusing on banks or ATMs, when people are removing money from the financial institutions, they're either following them to a different location or somewhere that's a little bit more discreet.
It happened Wednesday when SAPD says a man was hit by a vehicle after leaving a Northwest Side bank with a bag full of money. Last month, New Braunfels police arrested 2 men accused of following the victim from a bank to a gas station. Police say the best defense is to stay alert and cautious.
If I see people just sitting in their vehicles, is it illegal to sit in their vehicles? It's not. But why are you sitting in your vehicle?
Theft, robberies, burglaries, those are all crimes of opportunity. So try not to give that suspect that opportunity to take advantage of you.
SAPD data shows theft by assaults reported between January and April are nearly the same year to year.
It can happen anywhere, anytime. Doesn't matter the place, doesn't matter the time of day. So you always have to be aware of your surroundings.
And police say anyone that's withdrawing a large amount of money from an ATM or a bank should probably consider taking someone else with them. We're live tonight. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about a celebration, because the Juneteen Festival is underway at Comanche Park 2 with the good food and a celebration of Black history. The holiday was first created here in Texas in the 19th century after President Abraham Lincoln declared formerly enslaved people free under the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. But here's the thing, it wasn't until 2 years later that word actually reached people in Texas when Union soldiers arrived in Galveston with news that slavery had been abolished. Also known as Freedom Day, that moment in history is celebrated by the Black community in San Antonio as a way to reflect on the past.
It's something that is important from the standpoint that you have to know your history. And it's so important because if not, you may repeat it.
Okay, so if you didn't get a chance to go to the festival today at Comanche Park 2, guess what? You have another opportunity tomorrow. The festival will take place from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah, there's actually a parade tomorrow. There's another march that's on Monday. A lot of stuff going on for Juneteenth. As we look ahead to the city closures on Monday in honor of the holiday, the list includes all city libraries, the municipal court, and all Metro Health clinics and offices will be closed. Animal care services will be open, among others. You can visit all city parks and trails as well. All right, picture this. You get through the line at airport security only to be told you've got items with you that you can't take on the plane. Some things to keep in mind as you pack for your summer trip.
And yes, we are still talking about COVID, my friends. There's a new strain of the virus, and there's also something you need to know about the vaccine before we get to the fall. The FDA is asking vaccine makers to develop a new COVID booster for the fall. They want the seasonal shot to target the various Omicron mutations that produce new strains of the virus. Now, the newest strain, XBB 1.5, it's already spreading.
If you're traveling this summer, double check your carry-on. The Transportation Security Administration asking travelers to make sure they don't have prohibited items in their carry-on luggage. Here in Texas, guns are an issue. Of the more than 6,000 guns found at U.S. checkpoints last year, 108 of them were found at the San Antonio International Airport. You can fly with a firearm, but there are rules you have to follow.
Just make sure that it's unloaded, packed in a hard-sided container, checked in your checked luggage with the airline, and you sign a declaration form. It's that easy, and there's no extra cost.
The TSA says more than 1,500 guns were found at U.S. security checkpoints between January 1st and March 31st of this year. That's up from 1,367 guns found the same time period last year. According to TSA, more than 93% of the weapons found in 2023 were loaded. Have questions about what you can and can't take in your luggage? You can text the TSA at 272-872.
Now, just a reminder that San Antonio Pets Alive is hosting an adoption event tomorrow. So if you're looking to give a furry friend a new home, you can check out the cats, kittens, dogs, and puppies that they have up for adoption. Now, each adoption is going to be about $25, which is half the price. It's going to be at Petco Ingram, right next to Ingram Park Mall on Northwest Loop 410. And the event is going to be tomorrow from noon to 4 p.m.
All right, take a live look right now towards the airport, and you can see things are nice. They're calm here. Warm, humid, yes. But there's one part of our viewing area that just got drenched tonight, Adam.
Yeah, I was just looking at radar estimates of over 7 inches of rain in southern Gillespie County and westward into Kimball County. So that's north of San Antonio and just outside of our area. But let's take a look at the radar. We still have some ongoing thunderstorms, severe storms, and even a new tornado warning for a small section of Kimball County right near I-10. Here's a closer look at those storms over the past hour. They've been back building westward and northwestward, but it's been raining throughout Gillespie County and parts of Fredericksburg for a good 4 hours or so now. We've been seeing some rain and some heavy rain and even large hail. The purple within these storms indicate the likelihood of hail, and especially the black, the larger hail. Here's the tornado warning. This little couplet right here, that little hook, is where there's the potential for a tornado to touch down, and that circulation just crossed over I-10. That's the tornado warning for Kimball County, just west of Junction. Doesn't include the city of Junction, and that is until 10:30 p.m. Here's the 3D view of these storms, and the tallest parts, that's where we get some of the hail. Now, the storms earlier today were reaching up to 60,000 feet, and these could very well be doing the same. And when you just look at the hail within these storms, that purple area, it's an elongated area of hail that's right around I-10. primarily near Junction and in parts of Kimball County. That's where that action is. So we're looking at it as if we were driving towards San Antonio from I-10, and there's the large hail. But around here, we don't have anything to worry about storm-wise. We've been getting the clouds from it and made for a beautiful sunset and a nice view of the sunset with some shadows throughout the sky as well as that sun lowered. But we're still dealing with this action, which really should start to diminish and fade away in the coming hour or two as we lose our instability. We lost our daytime heating and the atmosphere mellows out a little bit. There's a 10% chance for the same thing, by the way, tomorrow, mainly in the hill country. All right, got to talk heat again. Sorry, it's that time of year. 101, that was our high today, our first 100-degree day so far this year. The average 93, the record 103. Made it to 112 for the air temp in Cotulla. 108 in Del Rio, Laredo 109, even Junction 111. Feeling the heat, but also the thick humidity. 91 degrees now, but with a dew point of 76, it feels like it's 12 degrees warmer than the air temperature. The feels like temperature, 103 degrees. It's because of these relentless dew points. The humidity's through the roof, and it doesn't drop off in the afternoon like it should. It typically this time of year and in the afternoon when we get to the hottest part of our day, the drier air aloft mixes down and the dew point drops a little bit, which would typically mitigate that heat index. That's not the case right now. All the soil moisture from the spring rain and all the lush foliage and vegetation. Foliage, we could just call it that, right? Adding to the humidity in the air. It's basically sweating is what it's doing, adding to the humidity in the foliage. Lush foliage. It's Friday. The weekend's almost here. Del Rio, 100 degrees right now for the actual air temperature. Converse, 87. Stinson, 90. A wide range of temperatures out there. We start the day at 79 with the low clouds and then partly cloudy. A mixture of sun and clouds through the day should keep us just shy of 100 tomorrow afternoon. Thinking about 99 officially at the airport, but feeling like it's about 109. Tomorrow afternoon in Floresville, 101, 96 Bernie Canyon Lake, 98. Sunday, sunny, hot, humid, hazy, the usual. Feeling like it's up to 110. Oh wait, there's a look at my storm again. Now we're going to go to the 7-day forecast, but don't anticipate any big changes. We're just going to trim off a few degrees by the end of next week. The hottest 103 on Monday. Foliage. We invented something.
Well, that's a new word. I like it.
Yeah. Why not?
You know what? Now, I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to say if. I'm saying when. When Benyama gets here, he's going to have a new court.
He'll be here. So all the fans are excited about him coming. The players are excited about him coming because he's going to help the team, and they get a new court. They get a brand new practice facility, so you know those guys are pumped. So when he gets to San Antonio, it's not going to be long before he'll have that brand new court to practice on with the rest of his teammates. And a former NFL player messed up the San Antonio Gunslingers schedule. How does that happen? This time next week, the city of San Antonio will be getting ready for a celebration like we haven't seen since the Spurs won their 5th NBA championship in 2014. That is because a week from today, the newest Spur will be headed to town. Next Thursday, the Spurs will have the #1 pick in the NBA draft for the 3rd time in franchise history. They are expected to select 7'5" Victor Wembanyama, the most coveted first pick in about a decade. Wembanyama just finished playing in the LNB Pro A French Finals. His team, the Metropolitan 92s, lost to Monaco. They got swept 3-0. His best game at the finals was his last, though. He scored 22 points, grabbed 7 boards, blocked 4 shots, had 2 assists, and had a steal. His next stop, New York for the draft, and here to San Antonio where the Spurs fans will be ready to welcome him with open arms and hope they can get the team back to those championship seasons. And one of his teammates, Keldon Johnson, you see there, he is signing his name to the new basketball court subfloor at the Victory Capital Performance Center on the far northwest side. That facility getting so close to be completion. So Wembanyama is also part of another new era of Spurs basketball. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver told us it was coming. Today, it got here. Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant been suspended by the NBA for the first 25 games of next season without pay. The suspension is due to conduct detrimental to the league. That's after Morant was seen on an Instagram live video waving around a firearm. He was already suspended by the team a month ago for that same video. This is the second time he has been suspended. This past March, he was suspended by the league for 8 games for the same thing. He has never been charged with a crime. He is set to make over $30 million this year. He will lose about $300,000 a game. That's around $7.5 million. San Antonio Gunslingers are going to get a schedule change next week. They were supposed to play the Albany Empire, but like a lot of empires throughout history, this one also crumbled. Just didn't last as long as other ones. According to a statement released by the league, the owner, Antonio Brown, wasn't paying his bills. He either did not pay fees or did not pay a fine. That is according to a statement from the NAL they released today. They said they tried everything, but nothing could keep the franchise in the league, so they have been terminated. This one will have an effect on the Gunslingers. They were scheduled to play the Empire next weekend here in the Freeman Coliseum. The league said they're going to have to adjust the rest of the regular season schedule, and they will let us know what changes they have made in the near future. The TCU Horned Frogs have found themselves in a tough situation after losing today the first game of the College World Series to the Golden Eagles of Oral Roberts. This one went back and forth all game long. There were some fun moments, though. During the broadcast of the games on ESPN, the commentators get to talk to the manager. And they were interviewing TCU's Kirk Solus. In the middle of the interview, this happened.
And both guys are doing a good job of mixing pitches and moving it around. And let's see if that one goes out. Probably not.
He's smashed by Fontenelle at the wall.
I guess so.
Does!
Nice job, Cole. Way to go.
He'll never get off the headset now.
Never. So it's our 21st wedding anniversary, my wife and I, so it's pretty awesome. Cole, what'd you think about that swing?
I was just trying to get a pitch I can handle, small pitch up, and not trying to do too much.
Did you think it was going out?
I wasn't sure the wind's going in, but I knew I got a good barrel on it.
Attaboy, nice job.
It was all just so natural. Fontenelle finished with 2 hits, 3 RBIs. That fun moment for a great memory, but they might want to forget the final. TCU scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Looked like they blew this one open. The Golden Eagles scored 4 in the top of the 9th. Blaze brothers knocked this 3-run homer to seal the deal. The Horned Frogs need to win their next game this weekend or their season is over. Coming up after the break, an ace in the second round of the U.S. Open, and Father's Day means dad jokes.
On his resume is the U.S. Open. That's the defending champion. He has a U.S. Open title. The Country Club. And does he have a hole-in-one? Yes, he does!
Second round of U.S. Open. That's defending champ Matt Fitzpatrick on the par 3 15th hole, getting the hole-in-one. Here's your leader, Ricky Fowler. He had 7 birdies today. He is your leader at 10 under par, followed by Wyndham Clark at -9. Rory McIlroy is at 8 under par.
We're new, but we want to learn more. Yeah.
That's right. That's the peak of being a dad, is having jokes just to tell on the fly.
Yeah. On the fly again.
On the fly!
Cut it. That's it.
Ah, see, Spreester even laughed at that one. I like that. 3 new dads getting used to dad jokes. Coming up Sunday on Instant Replay, you'll hear some fun dad jokes for Father's Day weekend, plus some special tributes to dear old dad from some of the student athletes we've been able to interview in the last few months. Join us on Father's Day on Instant Replay right after the Nightbeat, Sunday nights.
All right, I like it.
All right.
By the way, early this morning, I was laying in bed wondering where the sun had gone. Then it dawned on me. You know what you call a huge pile of cats?
We'll be right back.
No. Stop. Save it for Sunday.
What do you? All right, Mercedes drivers will soon be able to channel their inner Michael Knight. Remember when he and Kit would converse on Knight Rider?
Yes.
Mercedes-Benz inked a deal with Microsoft to add ChatGPT to its cars.
So that's going to extend the capabilities of the vehicles, which can already respond to simple commands that drivers initiate by saying, "Hey, Mercedes." Yeah, right now the car's responses are limited to simple commands, however, like adjust the temperature or find a navigation destination.
Hey, Adam.
Yes, Steve.
What concert can you go to for 45 cents?
I have no idea which one.
50 Cent with Nickelback.
50 Cent featuring Nickelback. Hey, everybody listening out there, save that for Father's Day.
Hey, Adam.
Yes, Steve.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef?
Yes! You are a dad.
Exactly.
You gotta let him have it. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Seriously, folks.
And all the awesome fathers. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.